How's everyone doing?
Great.
Happy to be here. My name's Garrett and today I'm going to be speaking about competitive swimming within schools and the Olympics. In my senior year of high school, I decided to try competitive swimming. And I don't mean to brag, but I was pretty good. As you can see here. Here's a picture of me at my final swim meet. Yeah, no, I sucked. Despite that, in the short time I did competitive swimming, I had a lot of fun. I became very knowledgeable of the sport. I also developed many skills, of which I even used to save a life not even a year later. Many of what I'm speaking today is accredited to that first-hand experience I got swimming. So how is competitive swimming relevant to all of you as college students? Well, unless you had prior experience as a swimmer, it's probably too late to suddenly decide you want to go down the route of competitive swimming. However, many of you may decide you want to have children. Some of you may already do. Competitive swimming has the potential for many lifelong opportunities for those who dedicate their time to it at a very young age, such as access to scholarships, connections, and job opportunities. The best of the best, though, but swimming is a very competitive sport. The best of the best can be separated by merely a fraction of a second. Because of this, all the best swimmers start as young as ages 5 to 10 years old, some even younger. So it's important that if you do want these opportunities for your children, you not only be knowledgeable of the sport, but you plan ahead. However, I'm not here to persuade you about that. This is just a thought for you to think about while you listen to me today. Next up, if I had done my questionnaire, I would have put it here. But I was sick and I was not able to. Some of the topics I'm going to discuss are most likely known by at least some of you already, such as the Olympian Michael Phelps, or the unique swim styles, such as the backstroke or the butterfly. This might be completely new to some of you as well, but hopefully all of you at least have a general understanding by the end. Now there's 3 main components that make up the modern scene of competitive swimming, with it having numerous rules and regulations, 4 unique swimming styles, and some well-known reputable Olympians. Also, to clarify, swimming events are measured in meters, with 1 lap being 25 meters, 4 laps being 100 meters, and 20 laps being 500 meters, and so on. First is a look at the rules and regulations that are enforced at every swim meet, from grade level all the way up to the Olympics. As with every sport, there are rules and regulations that every athlete is expected to follow. Swimming in particular prohibits false starts and the use of tech suits. First is a look at false starts. But to do that, we have to know how a swimming event starts. At the start of every event, every swimmer starts on their own platform called a block, as seen here. Then, an official called a starter readies the swimmer with the phrase, "Take your mark," in which every swimmer prepares to dive in the water, usually by getting into a hunchback position and grabbing the front of their block. After a few seconds, an alarm or a gunshot is sounded that signals the swimmers that the race has started. If a swimmer dies before this, it's considered a false start and they're disqualified. Next is a look at the worldwide ban on tech suits. First, we have to know the specifics of competitive swimming attire to know exactly what a tech suit is. Here's an example of men's swimming apparel. All the way on the left over here, we can see jammers. Right here we have a Speedo. And right here we have a tech suit. I also labeled these two are technically allowed in all kinds of swimming events. These have been banned since 2009. Of the available options, male swimmers can choose between jammers, speedos, and tech suits, while females have the option between a one-piece and a tech suit, as seen here. And again, I labeled it which one's allowed, which one's banned. Tech suits are unique compared to the other options in the way that their material causes you to float in the water, kind of like a buoy. This reduces drag on the swimmer, making them faster in the water, and allows them to use less energy. Because of this, tech suits were deemed an unfair advantage, but not until 2019 when they were promptly banned worldwide. From the library database, the authors, Chris Brammer, Joel Strager, and Dave Tanner from the Councilman Center for the Science of Swimming, located at Indiana University, directly researches events where tech suits were used. They quoted, upon prior Olympic performances from 1972 through 2008, using the mean top 8 across all years, a best fit power curve was calculated and used to predict the final times for the financialists of every event. Every event except the women's 100 breaststroke was predicted to be slower in 2012 than it was in 2008. The results of the 2008 swimming competition were shown to be biased, likely caused by the newly banned tech suits. In short, this study explores why exactly tech suits were banned and the fallout that resulted in lower times for almost every event, because the unfair advantage now becoming prohibited. Next is a look at the 4 main swimming styles. They are as following: butterfly, breaststroke, freestyle, and backstroke. Over here we have breaststroke, backstroke, and butterfly. First is a look at breaststroke, all the way to the left. This stroke is executed in a prone position by kicking with the legs brought forward with the knees together, and the feet are turned outward and whipped back with a glide. This style is known as the slowest while being the most energy efficient. The swimmer's head is kept above the water for most of the motion, allowing for mostly free breathing. That, with its slow kick, causes it to be very physically undemanding style to do. Events for these are usually 100 to 200 meters, which is about 4 to 8 laps. Next is a look at the backstroke in the middle. With this style, you lie on your back and continuously swing one arm behind you while kicking to swim backwards. In this style, your head is above the water for the entire motion, allowing for completely free breathing. But since you're going backwards, you're not able to see where you're going. While this style isn't particularly exhausting, it can be difficult because the swimmer has no idea where they're going. The swimmer has to memorize where they are in the water, or they might smash right into the pool wall. The events for these are also 100 to 200 meters usually, also known as 4 to 8 laps. Third is to look at butterfly. This is the hardest and most unique style. It's also the most physically exhausting and is no way practical outside of the competitive scene or to show off. In the style, the arms are thrown forward and together in a forward motion. While the feet are connected and kick almost like a mermaid or a dolphin, kind of connected together. Because of how exhausting this style is, high schools and down usually only do about 100 meters, which is 4 laps, while Olympics and up go to about 200 meters, which is about 8 laps. Last is the last swimming style, freestyle, also known as front crawl. This is the most practical, fastest, and popular style around the world. This style uses a rapid kick and rotating arm stroke, where you're constantly pulling yourself through the water with one arm at a time. Through the library database, from the Journal of the Biomechanics, in the article, Front Crawl Stroke in Swimming, phase durations, and self-similarity, the author further illustrates on front crawl. Front crawl swimming raises most of the attention since it's the fastest, as well as the one with more events included at every major sports competition. To displace in water, the swimmer has to simultaneously perform several limb motions that are to be properly synchronized. These actions aim to increase the thrust and reduce drag force. In short, the author elaborates on how front crawl is the most popular swimming style, but also very complex, and takes learning many different synchronized motions to master, such as your kicking, thrusting, and breath work. Last is a look at the famous Olympic swimmer, Michael Phelps. First is a look at the well-known legend, Michael Phelps. 39 years old and born in 1985, Phelps started swimming at the young age of 7 years old in 2008. In the time until his retirement in 2016 at age 31, he amassed 28 medals, 23 of which were gold. His best and most notable events were the individual medleys, which is an event that uses a combination of all four previously spoken strokes. Through the library database published by MacklinPub.co, the article Michael Phelps, the Greatest Olympian Ever Goes Out on Top, written by Jonathan Gatehouse, explores his accomplishments in greater detail throughout his life. In a career that spanned 4 games, the 27-year-old American amassed a record 22 medals, 18 of them gold. Shut out as a 15-year-old in Sydney, he took Athens by storm 4 years later, winning 6 events and earning bronze twice. In Beijing in 2008, he went a perfect 8 for 8, besting Mark Spitz, 7 swimming gold medals at Munich in 1972. And for his finale in London, Phelps added 4 more gold and 2 silvers. Throw in the couple of dozen more world titles he won, and the astonishing 29 world records he set, and it's difficult to imagine anyone else ever coming close to his accomplishments in the pool. Yet, somehow it's hard to mourn his departure from the scene. Frankly put, perfection is boring. The author's take on how no one could ever come close to his accomplishments in competitive swimming is no understatement. Phelps to this day holds the most gold medals, with a whopping 23. So far, no competitive swimmer has ever been able to match his legacy, with the 2 runner-ups only having 9 gold medals. Despite his career over, he'll forever live on as a legend and a role model for anyone in competitive swimming. Overall, there's many components to competitive swimming, and it's an important part of many people's lives, maybe as a coach, an athlete, or just someone who enjoys watching it for fun. Swimming has been a part of the Olympics for hundreds of years, and its rules and regulations are still changing to this day. Every year, people find out ways to improve the previous swim styles and techniques, with the world record getting lower and lower. Despite that, I wouldn't be surprised if no one in our lifetime is able to surpass Michael Phelps' level of accomplishment. For me personally, competitive swimming is more than a sport for me, but a way to push my limits and challenge